and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to carry on overviewing the childhood reads that I most enjoyed growing up. So first of all, Mallory Towers. I loved this series of books from the age of about 10. I remember getting my first one from Waterstones with a school book voucher. I did become rather obsessed with the books because I felt a strong need to take in every single detail, and sadly this put me off reading for a while. Yet, before I got this obsessed, I enjoyed the books. So Mallory Towers, for those who don't know, is a series of novels by English children's author Enid Blyton. The series is based on a girls' boarding school in Cornwall. The books were published between 1946 and 1951. The series follows the central character, Daryl Withers, during her time at boarding school. In Book 1, Daryl Withers begins her first year at Mallory Towers. Daryl's character has a hot temper, but she becomes best friends with Sally Hope. And Sally Hope is sort of like a goody two-shoes character. By the final year and final book, Daryl becomes head girl and becomes really good at tennis. Daryl has a younger sister called Felicity, who also joins Mallory Towers. Gwendolyn Lacey is the crybaby of Daryl's class. Indeed, all the characters have clearly defined personalities, which was part of their appeal and why I loved them. One of my favourite characters was Alicia Johns, the form Joker. She played tricks on the teachers and was very mischievous. I loved books about girls at school because I was a girl, and so I could relate to them. So yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I really enjoyed the Mallory Towers series, because it was about girls at school. They're always girls with clearly defined personalities. It was all very clear. I love to kind of like think about all the characters, and it's just all really very clearly defined. And yes, it's very sort of real and true to life. I was never really into... I did enjoy some... I mentioned in my previous video, that I enjoyed some fairy tales growing up, particularly the sort of Ladybird series, but they had to have a sort of bearing on reality. They had to have some kind of real-world kind of relevance. I wasn't really into fantasy for fantasy's sake. I never have been. Which is why, my brother, for example, was really into Harry Potter, which is funny because many people are really, really obsessed with Harry Potter, and my brother that was my brother's thing. He was really into Harry Potter, whereas I never was, because although I liked books at school books, they had to be kind of real life. I wasn't really into the sort of fantasy side, but that's just me. The next book that I want to mention now, number 2 here, is When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. Now, I read this book many times as a kid, and again as a teenager while on holiday in the Lake District. I read the book to my mum on our walks during this holiday. This book is a semi-autobiographical novel by Judith Kerr, and I would have first sort of read the book, I think, probably when I was about sort of 10, 11, that sort of age, but as I say, I did read it again as a teenager, and I still liked it then, and I think I would still like it if I read it again as an adult. It's a really, really good book. It is based upon the life of the author, whose Jewish father was wanted by the Nazis. The family fled their home in Berlin via Switzerland to escape to Paris and then England. The central character is 9-year-old Anna, who shares my name. That might have been part of the appeal as well, the central character sharing my name, which is always nice. Who at first lives in Berlin in 1933. In March 1933, Anna finds out that her father is missing. She learns with her brother Max that her dad thinks Hitler might win the election and has fled to Prague. Her father has fled to Prague because he's really worried, that Hitler might win the election. If Hitler wins, Max, Anna and their parents will join the father in Switzerland. But they decide not to wait until after the elections, and so the mother and children rush to Switzerland in secrecy. Anna has to choose which toy to take with her. She decides to take her new cuddly dog and leave behind Pink Rabbit because she believes that they will soon return to Berlin. She then thinks that Hitler might steal her toy, which upsets her, and that's why the book is called When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. There are actually 2 more books in the series which I have not read, But I would like to, as Chloe is a very good writer. I actually only realised recently there are actually 2 more books in the series, whereas I was only ever familiar with the first one, When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit, but there are 2 other books, semi-autobiographical novels again about when Anna was a little bit older. Yeah, it does have some kind of like personal relevance because my grandmother was Jewish. That's my dad's mum. She's dead now. Died a couple of years ago. But she was Jewish and fled the Nazis. So so it does have some kind of like personal relevancy. That my grandmother fled the Nazis. My grandmother survived, as did all her siblings. But her parents and all of her wider family, so that'd be my dad's great grandparents, they all died in Auschwitz concentration camp. Whereas my grandmother came over to this country when she was 16 on the Kinderfleet because her parents sent off their kids, to this country, to be safe. So so it does have some personal. Interestingly, my dad's mother, so my grandmother, she actually met my grandfather because she was a nurse. She became a nurse, and my grandfather, who was convalescing in hospital during the Second World War, and my grandmother was a nurse at that hospital, and that's how she met my grandfather. That's quite interesting. So it has that personal element as well, which might be part of the reason why it interested me, but also for the fact, it was related to history, a sort of historical element, and I've always been quite into historically based sort of books. Again, that sort of closeness, sort of reality aspect, I guess, which is particularly appealing to me. Also, I remember in a book, there's a nice scene involving apple strudel. So yes, there's some food elements in there as well. So I'm now going to move on to video number 2 to carry on this overview of books from my childhood that have particular appeal. So moving on to video number 2 now.